So today we've got another rolled up artist interview. This next guest has had a few releases with the label already, with one of them being on volume 1 of the Summer Vibes Mixtape series. Today to talk a bit about his track Cries of a Hero, which is out now on the Summer Vibes volume 2 mixtape, here's Darren aka SST. Darren, how are you today?
Good, man. Good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you too, I appreciate your time. So we'll start with the name of the track, Cries of a Hero. Is there any specific inspiration behind it or idea that you had in mind when approaching the project?
I like contrasting names in titles. And I thought of this title long before I ever even started a song with it. It was just an idea that I put in my phone. And when you think Cries of a Hero, when you think of a hero, you think, strong, tough, brave, whatever goes along with hero. You don't think of crying. But yet the hero might feel to have empathy for whatever they're doing to be a hero. Does that make any sense? It's just a contrast of the hero can feel pain as well.
Yeah, no, I totally understand that. And with that said, to kind of continue on to that question, so like with the energetic feel to it, do you feel like you were adequately able to capture the tone and the mood you were looking for when working on it?
I do. That honking cry sample, basically, I don't even remember where I found that, but when I heard it, that's what I knew that title had to go with that, and that was the sound to drive it.
Okay. When you were tipped off about the label taking submissions for this compilation, how fast were you able to get this one completed? And was there anything during the production process that you remember fondly that stuck out to you?
Well, I've known about the album since, the whole time, but I got wrapped up in my own album that I just finished for another label, and I got the message that the submission deadline was the following Sunday, and I think it was like Tuesday, and I was like, oh crap. So the song I had started this song back during the whole COVID shutdown when I had a lot of time and I was writing tons of music. So I started going through my Logic sessions, looking for stuff, and I was like, this is the one, this is what I want to do. So I just stopped, put everything I was doing for my album on hold, and for the next couple days, just jumped on that to finish it, and got the submission in literally Saturday night before midnight. So I was very pleased that I was able to make it on the album, because I would have been upset to miss it.
How would you say this helps to encapsulate the overall theme of the mixtape?
I mean, the mixtape is everybody on it is just coming with just amazing music, and I can't really say how it fits the overall mix, because every song is just its own thing, own entity, but all together just forms this really cool album. That's kind of a tough one to say that it fits or it doesn't fit. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it fits?
I personally think it fits fine, especially because it's a pretty energetic track, and I'm gonna be honest, it's actually one of my favorites to drop in a set because of that. Like I love like energetic tracks like that, so I personally feel like it's perfect for that, especially with like the whole like summer theme of the mixtape. Just kind of like, I don't know, just trying to have like high energy for the summer. At least that's what I feel.
Awesome, man. Good, I appreciate that.
So this is your third release under the Rolled Up imprint now, the other two being Meet Me in the Sky and The Inside Story. I personally find this one, like I said, to be my favorite of the three, but I wanted to know, how do you feel this one stacks up compared to those other two?
I think all three are distinctively different while, keeping my sound, so to speak. I think it's just its own thing. I think I try to do this thing where I don't, basically every session I start from scratch. I don't just take what I've done before and just try to rearrange and make a new song out of it. And not that there's anything wrong with that. But by using that method, it just kind of took a different track, and it just sounds completely different than the other. All three to me sound completely different. Some people say that I have my sound, and they can tell that it's me, and that's cool. But to me, they're just completely different tracks.
I think I'd have to agree with you on the latter part of that statement, because I think it ties in well with how I've seen you play live. And I think back to, I think it was at the Nest in St. Pete. It was actually the first time I caught a set by you, and like the type of set that you played has the same kind of energy or vibe as this track on the mixtape. So while we're on the topic of label releases, for my next question, because you've had a handful of releases spanning 3 different compilations since Rolled Up's inception last year, what has it meant to you to release music with them and to be part of the label's early growth and development?
Oh man, I remember when Tim first told me about the label. We were in Fort Lauderdale. I don't remember the exact date, but I know it was April of last year. A lot of people were down there for Knox's wedding reception party, which turned into just who's who of Florida drum and bass party. And Tim and I, Cadillac, for everybody that knows, were having a beer at the hotel bar before heading over. And that's when he told me that him and Aaron had started this label, and they were going to call it, or they were starting a label, and they were going to call it Rolled Up. And I knew that he had been talking about it for a little bit. So, I mean, clearly I was super stoked about it and on board from the start. And the success of the label and it's just mind blowing. But I know that Tim works really hard at it, Aaron works really hard at it, plus everybody that's a part of it is making amazing music. And for me, it's special, you know, because they're my friends, they're a group of awesome people, and just to be a part of it, US Drum and Bass just doing it proper is great. Blessed.
Yeah, man, that's great to hear. It's funny you mentioned the wedding, because that started to become a running theme for these interviews when, like, I kind of ask about a little bit of backstory of some of the tracks that have released on it, and I think I've heard that, I want to say twice now, because it was also brought up in the interview for, it was The Ride. They were all talking about that, yeah, which is pretty funny.
Those good times for sure.
All right, Darren, I do appreciate your time and you coming on board to answer a few questions about your track. Thank you so much once again.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.